Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at angles and arcs, and more specifically, looking at how we can find the measurement of different angles in a circle. Let's go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be looking at 3 different types of angles. And these angles, they aren't given specific names usually in a textbook. However, we're going to just call them an on angle, an inside angle, and an outside angle. And I'll get more into the reasoning behind this in a bit. So the first angle that we're going to learn is an on angle. Now an on angle looks like that. Now this angle touches the border of the circle only at one point. And that is going to be right here. Now this angle right here is going to be half of whatever length that arc is. So we can write our formula that an on angle is going to be equal to half the arc. For example, if we were told that the arc length over here is 140, you would be able to use this equation and find out that the angle is equal to 70 degrees. So this right here is our first type of angle. All right, next we have an inside angle, and I'll show you why it's called this in just a second. So if we have 2 chords that are drawn, the angles that we're looking at are either this one and this one, or we can say X and X, or this one and this one. We could say label as Y and Y. And the way that we're going to figure out what the length of one of these angles is through this formula. So we can say that the inside angle, you can pick either one of them, is going to be equal to half of the arc plus the other arc. Now this would make sense because if you're trying to find the measurement of one of these angles, you're just going to take the average of the 2 arcs that make these angles. So for instance, if we are told that this length here is 80, this one down here is 120, this over here is 100, and this one is 60. Now let's go ahead and find the measurements of the angles. For inside angle X, it's going to be equal to half of 80 plus 120. 120 plus 80 equals 200, and if we divide that by 2, we're going to have that our X angle equals 100 degrees. So we know that this here and this here are both 100. Now we could also do simple math just to find out what the other angles are, as we know that 360 degrees make a circle. However, let's go ahead and get some more practice with this formula. So if we're trying to find inside angle Y, we could just do 1/2 of the 2 arcs, these ones that are right across from those angles. So that would be 160. 100 plus 60 equals 160, and if we divide that in 2, we get that Y is equal to 80 degrees. This angle here and this angle here are both 80 degrees. For this last type of angle that we have, I'm going to go ahead and call it an outside angle, and you'll see why right now. This angle can be made either by 2 secants, 2 tangents, or a secant and a tangent. I'm going to go ahead and draw all 3 of those right now in different colors for you. So the first one that we have here is one that is made with 2 secants. This one over here is made with a tangent as well as a secant. And our final one is made with 2 tangents. So we can have one here and then have another tangent right there. So the outside angle that we're looking at here is going to be this angle right there. That is an outside angle. So the question is, how can we find the measurement of that outside angle when we know the 2 arcs? And this is a formula that will help you with that. This formula says that the outside angle is going to be equal to half of arc minus arc. Now the question is, which arcs are we talking about? These are going to be the 2 arcs that interact with either the tangents or the secants in your circle. So for this one over here with 2 secants, there are 2 arcs are going to be this one here and this one right here. For this one over here, we're going to have this arc here and then this one right over there. And for this one, we're going to have this arc right here and this final arc going all the way around. And just a tip for when you're using this formula, it's always important to put the arc which is furthest away from your angle, which I'm drawing arrows by now. It's always important to put that arc under the first arc or the bigger one because otherwise you will get a negative number. All right, so now that we've learned all of the formulas, let us go ahead and put them into practice. All right, so our first problem is telling us that the measurement of arc RT equals 80, the measurement of arc US equals 40, and we're asked to find the measurement of angle 1. So remember, we're going to count this as an inside angle since it's inside of our circle, and the formula for that is going to be 1/2 arc plus arc is going to equal whatever angle we're trying to find. So let's just go ahead and plug in our values for this equation. So we have our first arc, which is RT right here, is going to equal 80. And our second arc, which is US over here, is going to equal 40. So we have 80 plus 40, and we just need to take the half of that. 80 plus 40 equals 120, and half of 120 is 60. So our measurement of angle 1 is going to equal 60. All right, so for our second problem, we are told that the measurement of angle 1 equals 50, the measurement of arc RT is 70, and we need to find the measurement of the remaining arc. We can go ahead and use this exact same formula, except that the known variables are going to be a bit different. So remember that our angle is going to equal 1/2 of arc plus arc. So if we just plug in our known values, we're going to have that 50 equals 1/2 of 70 plus measurement of US, which we can label as X. The best thing to do here is to multiply both sides by 2 so that we can remove the fraction. So we're going to be left with 100 equals 70 plus X. And then if we subtract 70 from both sides, we're going to get that 30 equals X. So the measurement of arc US is going to be 30. All right, so now for this problem, we're going to try and solve for an outside angle. And remember that our formula for an outside angle is going to be that our angle equals 1/2 of arc minus the other arc. Here we're told that arc CT, which is right here, is 110, and mark BT, which is right here, is 50. So what we can do is we can just go ahead and plug these into our formula. Now, it's important to note that since arc CT is furthest away from the angle we're trying to find, that one is going to be going in this spot. So we're going to have that A equals 1/2 of 110 minus 50. So 110 minus 50 equals 60, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. So our angle A is going to equal 30 degrees. All right, so let's go ahead and try this last problem. So you can see that the angle over here, P, that we're trying to find is still an outside angle. However, this outside angle is created by 2 tangents to the circle. So in this problem, we're only told what the length of the arc XY is. We're told that it's 90. However, if you remember, there are 360 degrees in a circle, which means that the arc over here, XY, going this way around, is going to be 360 minus 90. 360 minus 90 is 270. So we know that this arc going all the way around here is 270. We can go ahead and use the same formula that's over here. I'm not going to go ahead and rewrite it. We can just use that same one. So A is going to go ahead and equal 1/2, and then 270 minus 90. 270 minus 90 equals 180, and half of 180 equals 90. So our angle is going to equal 90 degrees. So right over here, we can go ahead and write 90. Thank you guys so much for watching this video about angles and arcs in a circle. I hope that you learned a lot. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.